Hi, hello, and welcome. I will say this right now. I will try my best to look at the camera while I give my advice and what I talk, but it is not going to be perfect, so I apologize. But I digress. The reason why you clicked on this video is because you're not failing, but you're practicing. And what do I really mean when I say that? Everything that you do within your life, whether you're learning a new language, whether you're learning a new skill, whether you're going for goals and striving, failure is going to be part of the process. And notice how I said it's going to be part of the process. It is not going to be the end result as long as you don't make it the end result. Hear me when I say that, right? It's going to be practice, it's repetition. And when you get to it, you will succeed. And I promise you that. But at the start, it really doesn't feel like it's practice. It just feels like it's just frustration. No matter how many times you get up, you try again, it feels like it's never really going to go anywhere. And maybe you kind of get to a point where you're like, this is just not for me. I'm not good at this, right? You get to a low. You get to a low point. My dad always tells me you have your highs and you have your low days. You would want it to be balanced out. You would obviously want your highs to be higher than your lows, but there's going to be lows that are there. And that is going to be the frustration part with that. And think about it in this sort of way. If you're thinking you're not good at anything or you do this, you've already succeeded at something in life already. And that is simply just walking and talking. For anybody who watches this, who is an adult, who is elderly, who is a teenager, or even just younger than teenager, a young adult, whatever, right? Walking is a perfect example. You would learn how to walk. You failed over and over again. You fell because it was part of the process, right? Your parents let you fall. They help you, try to help you what you can, but you have to learn how to walk. People do it every single day. So that's one thing you've already done and succeeded well. If you talk to people, if you're talking, you've already figured out how to talk. You didn't know how to do it before, but you learned how to do it, right? So no one really just sat there and was like, yeah, walking isn't for me, right? And I know I don't want to go into really more touchy subjects, but certain things happen for people, right? And whether it be conditions, whether it be accidents, things happen where people just lose the functions of their limbs and things of nature. But I digress. That's not more the point of this. If it was, I would go more into it. But you get, the whole overall point would be is you didn't give up on that, right? You learned how to do it. So why is it more different today, right? With the mistakes that we proved, does it mean that we should quit? Does it mean that we should, stop? But no, it's just more proof that we're in the process of things. I talked about basketball. I'm going to talk about music, right? Every failed attempt that you make on a test, whether it's bad decisions that you've made, missed shots in basketball, you learn from it and you learn to adapt from it, and you made mistakes because that's failing. But you got to a point where it became successful, where it became practice, where it became you were at a stable spot and you managed to maintain and perfect what you're doing, right? I do believe always that everybody has a gift, and with that, they have to learn if they want to. People can do whatever they want to do. They learn how to perfect their craft and go from there. I'm going to try not to spiral too much on topics, but that is something I can do and stick to it. But this helps me kind of manage my thoughts. So in the times that you are failing, and the times that is happening, practicing and failing, right? You're collecting information, you're collecting feedback, and you're noticing when you make these mistakes, you're like, okay, that's something maybe I shouldn't go back for. It's not failure, it's feedback. It's collecting information now. And you learn what works and what doesn't work, right? I think a lot of people don't have, they don't really stay long enough. What I mean by stay is they don't really get comfortable in their discomfort to learn that information and learn how to use it, and then they leave or they get, discomfort off of it and they shy away from it, and then we call it failure. I believe, in my view, that's how that works. But I believe in a case where they didn't fail. It's more of like they just kind of just stopped practicing, right? It's not always going to be fun, no matter what you do. There's going to be times in life, no matter what you do, it is going to happen. Failure is going to happen. Remember that, right? You're going to have your highs and you're going to have your lows. It is guaranteed within this life you're going to have both. It's repetitive, it is frustrating, it is humbling in all three aspects. But if you want to progress, I believe it is the only way forward for you to do so. And think about it this way. Everything that you've done and that you're good at right now is because at one point you were terrible at it. You were terrible at doing this. You were terrible at playing the game, playing video games, right? You were terrible at communication skills. You were terrible at basketball. There are so many plethora of examples I can name, but we do not have time to sit here for hours upon hours and name every single thing that you could be good at and you were terrible at one time. But you are here now. And if you watch this video, it is an example of you just being, hey, like, maybe he's right. Maybe there's at some point where I was terrible at something. There was a version of you that didn't understand, that struggled, and at one point probably just wanted to quit, just wanted to stop, right? But you're here. You kept going. You are in a situation where you might even profit off of it, where you made opportunities off of that. You are here and you kept going. And for that, I can always say I am proud of you for that. If no one has told you that already, I am proud of you for that, because you are here. You didn't quit and you saw it as not failure, but practice. Like I said, it is repetitive, it is humbling, it is frustration, but once you get it and you're there, you're in that door, it's there, and you fought through the adversity. That is life. It is your ups and your downs. But it's also the exact reason why you improved, and you're here as it is now. So if you aren't, for anybody out there who needs to be in that place right now, if you aren't right there, where things aren't clicking, where things are messing up, that's good. That's exactly where you're supposed to be. You can't skip that part because it's inevitable and it's going to happen. Nobody can skip that part in life. You are here. You're not behind. You may feel like you are, but you're practicing. You're not incapable. You are in training, you are practicing, and you are always willing to do. If you are willing to do so, you're in training. It is not failure. You are practicing. You are learning. You are retaining information. You're given feedback. That is your feedback. Every mistake that you happen to go through within life, it is shaping you to be a better person. Even if you can't see it, if there's people around you, they can see it. They know. Because they know what you have. They know what your potential is going to be. And they can see it. And if you keep going, and if you're willing to sit in your discomfort, because the only time to get comfortable, you got to stay in your discomfort where you can get to a situation where you are comfortable now. You will not stay the same if you keep going, which is great. You will not stay the same. I repeat, you will not stay the same if you keep going. And that is going to be for the better. So remember always, as I wrap this up, you are not failing. You are practicing. I love you all. Please keep going. I made this channel purely because I want to spread positivity throughout the world. Throughout the world. It's going to be some times where I mess up my speeches, but I wrote a little script and I went from there. But I love you guys. Please remember that you are not failing, you are practicing.